Welcome back, Jimmy O Show, coming back to you with another episode with our star freshman here, Jadon Canady. Been wanting. We had a special request early on to get you on, and I appreciate our fans sending that our way. But I did, I had to show some love to the older guys.
Yeah.
So we got you now, Jadon. I'm happy to have you. Welcome to the Roof Fitness and Stack Coaching Studios. We are pleased to be here once again, and thank our gracious host for having us, and our producer Bradley for putting this show on. Folks, if you haven't heard the news yet, once again, we're now, the FTW Collective is now a 501c3 organization. We're official, according to the IRS, a nonprofit. All that means is that any donations you make to help support our athletes and the guys that we're sponsoring, those donations are going to be completely tax deductible. You'll get your proof of that from us so that everything's taken care of on that end, and you can feel good about doing a good thing and actually saving some bucks doing it. All right, so with that, let's get to Jadon. Jadon, welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, man. Middle of spring ball, wrapping up, getting close.
Yeah, wrapping up, yeah.
Yeah.
I think two more practices left.
Two more practices, and then I guess the spring game Saturday.
Yeah,
so we're coming April 14th, 3 days before Easter. And I actually... Wow, I just realized something. I was supposed to miss the spring game because associate producer over here had a baseball tournament, but that baseball tournament was canceled. So now we got our Saturday open. We may
10 a.m. You can be there.
We may be there. Well, good. So I guess let's start with that. How's the spring been?
Spring's been good. I think for the team, it's been fantastic. I think this year was a better team building. I would say so. Mm-hmm. Definitely more communication. It's more love all around with the team, really. And individually, my goals, I've been getting there, getting better. But obviously, the team goes first.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have a good team to win. Winning is the number one goal, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're doing very good.
Yeah. So you mentioned individual goals. What expectations you're setting for yourself going into sophomore year?
Sophomore year, definitely some more picks, more pass deflections. Probably this year a little less tackle because I'll be playing corner. But definitely more as coverage-wise, just technique, just man-on-man coverage, just zone coverage, just more like just honing my craft. That's pretty much what I'm shooting for.
Sure. And watching you last year, Jadon, you came in as a true freshman, started a nickel from the get-go.
Yes, sir.
In fact, you had one of the rare people, most people don't get this, but you had a pick on national TV in your second snap.
I did, yeah.
I credit you for a few things. Not only did you derail Spencer Rattler's Heisman campaign, you also gave Caleb Williams a chance to become a superstar.
Yeah, I did.
If you hadn't sent Spencer on that spiral, man, Caleb would have never got a shot.
I never got a shot. Yeah. Still running the bench.
I guess we're going to come back to the spring, but I'm on that play. I'm thinking about it right now. I mean, obviously that was a great game for Tulane other than the final score, but kind of high hopes were sort of fulfilled with the competition there. But on that play, I mean, here it is, this guy with a cannon of an arm. You're in this loud, hostile environment first time. It's just – their first play was just a little run, I believe.
Run play. That's all it was.
Yeah, and so you just had some sort of edge fit or something. You wasn't involved in that.
Yeah, no about the play.
And then the next play, I mean, they're testing you. I mean, cover 3. What were we in?
Cover 3, yeah. So the whole week watching film, and Coach Ham's like, "Jadon, man, be ready. Just curl flat hinge, because the overrout's coming." I remember just watching the play in film. I'm like, okay, I'm sitting in film like Larry, like this route, I'm gonna pick it off from the game. And I see it, so he called Huts, and the 18 goes, and I think it was a drag route. So just let my eyes go across the field because I know it's coming. So I curl flat, and then I'm hinging, and I look across, I see 17, I'm like, okay, it's coming. So I run, ball's in the air, just pick it off.
Yeah. And so, I mean, so for the people at home, basically on your side of the field, you're on the right side of the field, defensive right, and so the curl flat means that there's sort of somebody in the flank around the line of scrimmage, the flat, and then the curl, and they're trying to put the edge defender in sort of a commit. You either got to play the curl or curl it flat. And then you're a nickel, so coming from inside, somebody from inside defends the other, and then the over is what you describe, somebody coming from the other end of the field, right?
So, yeah.
And so we had a little something for him, gave him a look like the over would be open, and you you made up a tremendous amount of ground.
Yeah, I did cover a lot of ground, but probably 20 yards.
Yeah. And a pretty athletic interception, you know.
Athletic, yeah.
I got to tell you, when you're Tulane fan of any program, but I've been a Tulane fan, so that's what I've seen. You always, a lot of times we have really good players. It takes a while to develop, so it's always really exciting when you see a guy flash athletically so early in his career. Oh, yeah. And so we see that play out of you. It's like, oh, got him, superstar. Sign him up. And luckily for us, it wasn't just like a flash in the pan. I mean, you had a great freshman year. I think ended up being Pro Football Network's AAC Newcomer of the Year, Rookie of the Year.
Yes. Correct.
That's a pretty good honor.
Yeah, pretty good honor. Yeah, definitely pretty good honor.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the other names on the list. Sauce Gardner is like the DB of the year or the player of the year, whatever it was. And you look down the list, and it's all these guys, just dudes, Beavers, guys that you saw start in the college football playoff, and then Jadon Canady.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
It was like Cincinnati and Houston guys, which both were 10-plus win teams. One was a playoff competitor. Yeah. One was the New Year's Six competitor, and Jadon. So you spoke on those goals for sophomore year. I mean, I was one of the things, 2 interceptions last year. Looking to get more of those, and so now you did a little bit of double duty. You were primarily nickelback last year, but also played some outside.
Yeah, some outside, correct.
But this year you're thinking you're gonna play more outside.
Outside, yeah, definitely outside. I may travel, like the best guys in the slot for the week. I might go to slot, but I'm focused on cornerback this year, playing outside.
Great,
more than nickel.
Yeah, so cool. So that's actually something that we haven't really done a lot of traveling. Just basically, you're gonna line up formation side with whatever the best receiver is. He may not necessarily be your guy. We might be in zone, but you're going to show the quarterback that Jaden's on the best guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that's cool, man. What are some of the? I guess just big picture wise, for people at home don't really understand secondary play. Like, what are some of the biggest differences between nickel and outside corner?
So nickel, you're playing in the divide, so the receiver can run across the field or run outside. It's very hard to cover somebody. He can go in any direction he wants to, anytime. But cornerback, you're kind of like you're off to you're offset, or you have probably 10 yards to work. So basically, the routes you get are different from slot and cornerback. Slot, I'll get maybe a slot fade, a slant, a curl, quick out. Outside, I'll probably get a go route, a comeback, or a curl, slant. So definitely, the routes are limited from each position. That's probably the biggest difference. And also last year, the best receivers are probably in slot we played. I would say so. So it's definitely hard covering somebody the open field.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a two-way go, right? I mean, so much of it is as an outside defender, you at least have a sideline.
Sideline, yeah.
To help you defend, but in the slot, I mean, they literally can go in, they can go out. I mean, we saw Cooper Kupp put up how many ever yards this year in the NFL out of that with that two-way go, and guys have been doing it for years.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But you also have seen this trend now. It's been last 10 years or so in football. It never used to be that you would put your ex, or your premier go up, get the ball, money receiver, Michael Irvin on down. You wouldn't put that guy in the slot. He was just an outside receiver. Now, I mean, Mike, you saw with Michael Thomas with the Saints, a lot of times you'll put the best guy in there because of the coverage problems it creates.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah, it's so much that can go. Drag, quick out, so many variables you get from the slot. Formations, a lot of different stuff in the slot you have to think about. As far as cornerback, I would say.
Yeah, I mean that's people who watch the show know I don't like to give Bradley's Tigers very much credit, but the play that Burrow perfected with Jefferson and these other guys was the slot fade.
Slot fade, yeah.
I mean, it was just, to me, I was I never really had to cover anyone because I couldn't run, but. And I was offensive lineman, but it just seems unfair that play because of all your responsibility, everything. By the way, we're not even talking about the fact that typically as the nickel, you have a run fit responsibility.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, you have to read run pass too. Yeah.
So if it's a play action or something, you read and run first, and then you got to recover in your pass coverage, and then play this slot fade with some guy running 4-3-4-4. Just
that's hard. Yeah, it's hard
with a jump on you.
Yeah, it's hard. The guy running full speed at you, and you're sitting there. with your feet, like stop trying to catch them. So it's definitely take some skill to do that.
Well, and it creates so much more space. I mean, the fade or go, I guess, from outside position. I mean, again, the boundary's there for you.
Yeah, it helps out on you, squeeze.
Whereas if they starting from the slot, they have 20 more yards to work with.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Either way, yeah. Either way.
Yeah, man. So good. Well, I mean, and so let's talk again about this spring. I want to get back to that. I got off topic there, but I mean, I guess year one and year two. Let's in context for you. You show up. You started, I guess, summer school. You enrolled in July of last year, and so you really didn't go through this. I mean, you didn't go through the spring, in Coach Ham's first spring, but obviously the first year we had some growing pains. I covered it with a lot of the defensive guys. I mean, if you looked at the numbers on the season, but like, what's going on in Tulane's defense? If you watch Tulane's defense in the last 5-6 games,
we were up there, top.
You could see something really developing, right?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Are you feeling that? So now we're in the spring. Are you seeing that carryover, sort of?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've seen it carry over. Yeah, I feel like this year the defense should be probably as good as the last 6 games, or maybe even better actually, just because the way we're like, because last year was a brand new defense, came in there, but this year, like, same guys are playing, so we have a down packed. I mean, obviously we added some more things in there, but just the base stuff we ran last year, it's down packed. It should be pretty easy as we run it during the season.
Yeah, and well, I mean, like, there's always, you always hear about it with quarterbacks who maybe flame out in the NFL or whatever. Is like one of the big things is he's had 3 coordinators in 3 years. I mean, there's an impact to changing philosophies, changing terminologies. There's a learning curve, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And last year, probably, I mean, we saw some growing pains. We saw learning curve type of issues in part early on in the season.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like you got all these guys back. They're like, okay, we know.
It's easy.
We know what Coach wants now.
Yeah, 2 + 2. Yeah, simple. Simple
yeah,
simple stuff.
Another thing I saw, and so we had Macon on. Macon's added like 20 pounds now.
Yeah, he's about 205. Yeah, he got pretty big.
Macon considered himself a headhunter type, hard hitter at 185.
Yeah.
Imagine he's liking throwing that extra weight around.
Yeah, he's been in practice. He's been making some hits, stopping some blocks. Yeah, he mainly like linebacker, like Nick Dorian.
I tell you what he's not stopping is his mouth, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Macon's one of our beloved. We were talking before the show about where I'm from. I mean, Macon's kind of on the way there. He's from St. Rose, Louisiana, and St. Charles Parish. Okay. He was a fun guest. I know we love you, Macon. We look forward to seeing you back on. But, you got him, you got Larry back there, and then I guess Jarius Monroe's come over from Nichols.
Yes.
Another guy, and he's a big fellow. I mean, he's a bigger corner.
Yeah, 6'2", 200 pounds. He's pretty big.
I guess when I think of a corner with that kind of size, it's good. I mean, it helps on the run as well, but it helps with bigger receivers. I also think a lot more about zone. What in your mind, in terms of breakdown, zone versus man? We're primarily a zone team now.
Yeah, we changed the zone this year. Yeah, a little more zone this year. More spot dropping, which is kind of helpful because I mean, if you practice spot dropping, it can get really good, like man coverage. So I know at first we were doing it was a little iffy, but as we got practice spot dropping, we got way better at it. And like you can disguise it. It's cover 2 and really cover 3, and confuse Michael Pratt or Kai Horton, our quarterbacks. So as we developing it, our spot drop and our man coverage still. It's getting pretty good, I would say so.
Now, spot drop, is that a term? Is sort of a pattern match type of?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So basically, we'll drop to a certain spot, and then we're off the quarterback's eyes. So say I'm on the hash mark in nickel, my spot drop would be to the numbers. Mm-hmm. So I'll read run pass, and then I'll run to my spot, turn around, and I'm watching the quarterback's eyes or looking to receive. I'm watching the quarterback's eyes and just moving off him.
Okay.
So if he goes right with his shoulders, I go right. If he goes left, I go left. If he tilts it up, I'll hinge.
Okay.
Spot dropping right there.
So okay. So I mean, just more of a zone technique.
Yeah.
Yeah. I follow you now. Okay. I thought I was hearing something new. Okay. Yeah. Always 10 years ahead of my curve. Particularly when you talk about coverage. Right? I just want to see offense score. That's what I do. Yeah, so I mean, and then the physical development. I mean, have you I guess we could talk about Coach Hester. Coach Hester, new weight strength and conditioning coordinator. Have you seen some development in terms of your physical attributes?
Definitely, I've seen it physical in my leg strength, my arm strength. As far as the whole team strength too, I feel like as a team we're getting stronger. It's obviously the goal to be strong, but not just like a heavyweight strong, but just like the right strong, like with your muscles, your twitches, your movements, that kind of strong, which is what he emphasizes. Like fast twitch strong, which is what we need, is because we're cutting or breaking. We need to be fast at the breaks and be strong and taking on blocks, which is what he's trying to push for. So I really like what he's doing with the team so far.
That's one of the things about football speed versus 40 speed. That's one of the things.
It's different things. So.
It's great that if you can run in a straight line fast.
Yeah, but it's rare you get that speed in the game. Yeah. Maybe once a game, maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much about how fast or how quickly you move in and out of
short area.
Stop, move. Right, and over again a lot of times. So that's cool, yeah. And so, like, is it the training? As far as the training, is it position specific?
Yes, we have Thunder, Lightning, and Tsunami. Tsunami is the bigger guys. Thunder is the linebackers, running backs, and KPS, kickers, punters, and Lightning is the DBs.
Okay, DBs, receivers.
DB receivers, DB receivers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't get that technical back then. The one we did have those were our groupings, but it was times like. Times are distances in runs. So, like, we had a 12-minute run, right? And so, like, the bigger guys had to run 1.5 miles in 12 minutes. The middle group had to run 1.75 miles maybe, and then you guys had to run 2 miles.
Okay.
And, I mean, I'd run that 12-mile run, and, like, I'm about to die as I'm finishing what's the equivalent. So, 1.5 miles in 12 minutes, whatever that is. So, 8-minute mile, right? 8-minute mile and a 4-minute half mile. And I'm watching these DBs who I know went out the night before and, like, sweating out whatever they went out with. And, like, they can run it backwards, like 6-minute miles or whatever. It's like, man, you're just different. You're born different. You're blessed different. Like, I'm so envious of some of those guys. But, okay, well, the sort of let's look at the other side of the ball. You're watching them. What are you seeing out of the receiver group, the quarterback, the pass game threat that they're making? Are you seeing some progression from that side of the ball?
Definitely. Last year, more of a tight end team, I would say so, because we had Chip Long. But this year, we're using the wideouts a lot more, which is, I think, in the offense again, because like Pratt can throw anywhere on the field and be open. We have the X, Y, Z, and even the tight ends are open. So it's more progressions, I would say so, than last year. Last year was kind of like a one-man route. Maybe, but this year we're like Coach Avoda he knows what he's doing on offense. He has beaters for our zones and for our man coverages, and I'm definitely liking the new like Keys, Dede McDougall, Deuce Watts, Fat Shea. Like they're all giving us good looks. Quan, and we have a nice probably like 10 deep in the receiver room.
Yeah.
Very deep in the receiver room. Yeah, they all can give us very good work, which is what we need. We can give the work back as far as DBs and our man coverage and zone coverage. So we're like helping them help us. And vice versa, basically.
Well, that's sort of like when you hear about Alabama, the secret to their success. I mean, they got a lot of secrets, but part of it is, if you're not practicing at an absolute elite level, there's a guy behind you who's every bit as good, right? And it's sort of that push that comes internal to your own roster is important.
Definitely,
yeah. And now Tulane appears to have enough guys who can play football that there is no taking it easy at practice.
We can't, because this year the DB room we're pretty deep in the DB room too. So like if I mess up, I'll be with the twos. So every day I'm coming out giving my best. Same with Macon, Larry, Lummy, and Jarius. So like every day we're coming out giving our best to make ourselves better and the team better, really.
Oh, and I was starting there, and I got off topic, and so apologies to everyone. But I was talking to you about the personnel in the DB room, and we're going to come back to the receivers. But I wanted to ask you this because both Dorian and Nick told us the guy to watch out for in the DB room that nobody really knows about yet is Lester. How's he been this spring?
She came last year. He's actually been playing pretty good. He actually got injured with his knee, but he is healthy and gets training. He got banged up a little bit. But if he gets healthy and he trains this off season, he can be pretty scary. He can be like Sauce Gardner. He's 6'3". Like his weight room numbers out of the world, and then it's 4.3 40 laser.
He's got it. He's got everything you need.
Yeah,
Right?
he can be like first-round draft pick, first-day draft pick. Yeah, he can go pretty high. But he has to work, though. He has to work.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do. Okay,
Yeah.
You hear that, Shaquem?
Yeah,
You got work ahead of you, but
Yeah, I mean, I told him that. I told him he trains. Yeah, he can be there.
the payoff's there.
Yeah, 100%.
So we're gonna have 2 first-day draft picks in our defensive back room. Is what you're telling me? 28.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Cincinnati had that. They had the. You say more picks, but Sauce. If you watched him, I mean, nobody even threw at him, so he didn't have very many picks this year. The other guy though had 8 or 9 or something.
He had a lot. Kobe Bryant had a lot of picks last year.
Yeah, Kobe, and I mean, it's just that's just again, that's football. But I want you to have a lot of picks this year, but I'd also like him to be so scared to throw your way.
Yeah,
that you don't.
Yeah, last year I didn't get really too many targets. I would say so. I think most I got was probably Cincinnati or Tulsa game. I got like 8 Cincinnati game or 7. Completed 1 pass, and then Tulsa game. Number 4 had like probably 5-6 catches. But he's probably the best receiver I've guarded. The number 4 from Tulsa.
The Tulsa guy.
Yeah,
the slot guy.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you found yourself matched up with not only slot receivers and outside guys, reduced them, but you also were guarding tight ends.
Yeah, tight ends. Yeah, Cincinnati. Yeah, I was guarding a lot of tight ends too in the box.
Yeah,
so I was all around last year.
Yeah. So what's the challenge to you as I mean, you were a true freshman. You're not as big as you are now, and having you're lined up and you're responsible for a 6'3", 230 tight end.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm more of a physical DB. I like to press, get hands on. So I have no problems jamming taller receiver than me. Maybe like he can push me off, but I know my technique and I know how to play that. So I'm not too worried of that. So I mean, there's no really issues with guarding big receivers. I prefer guarding big receiver than smaller receiver because I feel like small receivers are more twitchier, and that's harder to guard rather than big guy. But I have no issues guarding.
Yeah, who's the guy? I imagine was a trouble for everybody. Who's the Austin from Memphis?
Oh yeah, he's very fast. I didn't guard him Memphis game. He was outside, so I didn't get a chance to guard him. But it was a play that I saw his speed. It was a drag route. And I had to beat him to the sideline. It was third. It was like 3rd and 13 going to halftime. He caught a drag route, and I was in a nickel, and I was playing a curl flat. He caught it, and he was racing. I had to lay out. To push him out of bounds so I could stop him. But yeah, he's very fast.
Yeah,
very fast.
One of the guys that I when you as a true freshman you reminded me of that had come through here was Parry Nickerson.
Oh yeah,
and Parry, he was hurt his freshman year, so he was a redshirt freshman year. He kind of burst on the scene with some early impact plays, but one of the things that was great about him, you're bigger than him, but Parry was really slight as a young guy, but the guy just liked to tackle.
Yeah, I was just film.
Yeah. I mean, he was not afraid to put his head in. I see some of that in you. You're not a guy to lay your body out there to get it out of the ground.
Tackling no problem, but like going in the piles, I'm not really a pile guy.
Yeah, no, I get you. I got to always worry about you Florida guys, though. The legendary Dion out there setting too bad of an example about not getting physical.
Yeah. Definitely physical. Yeah, I mean, I like to talk. I like to talk trash. It's kind of my game, so I can talk a little bit of trash, but getting physical, blocking, getting guys off me. Mm-hmm. So physical's more of my game, I would say so.
Okay,
my game.
All right, and so I want to get back to our receiver discussion, but I'll tie it into what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
As far as matchup wise, the guys that you're having to face at Tulane, who's the guy who presents the toughest matchup? To you, I mean, Jaquan's one of those faster, twitchy guys you're talking about, but
on the outside, if I'm my corner, I would say definitely Shea Wyatt or Deuce Watts. Mm-hmm. Those are 2 guys who've been outside so far. In the slot, Jaquan, Fat, and Dede, number 14 transfer.
Yeah,
those are the guys.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys.
There's a lot of guys. Yeah, I mean, you have Keys too, but Keys he got a little banged up. I don't really guard Keys that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the 5 guys I would say.
Gotcha.
So.
How's Deuce? I mean, Jaquan was telling us, I believe it was Jaquan last week, or no, it was Michael Pratt was telling us last week that Deuce, he's really seen a lot of progression out of Deuce from last year to this year.
Definitely, yeah. I'm seeing Deuce definitely this year's working harder, I would say so. Mm-hmm. Working harder, which is good. We wanted to work harder because we need him this year, put up some numbers for us. So he definitely progressed from last year, though, as far as his releases, his hands. I think this year's more locked in.
Good. That's huge. We need that from him.
Need to lock in.
He's a Mississippi guy. My wife's from Mississippi. You know. I don't know if we got to withhold the cornbread or whatever to get him going. I know if you told her she couldn't eat her grandma's cooking when she goes back for a while until she did something right, she'd get it straight. Yeah. We go over there and these kids learn how to eat peas and cornbread like it's the Last Supper or something. I guess that's appropriate. It's Holy Thursday, right? All right. Well, talk about all of the stuff that's happened since you come to Tulane. Let's talk a little bit about Jadon before he came to Tulane. Okay, what was it? Grew up Jacksonville area?
I did, Florida, yes, sir, Jacksonville, Florida. Grew up 3 siblings. Oldest brother played football at FIU, played in NFL, XFL, AAF. He went to FIU. Other brother ran track at Oregon. He transferred to FSU. He was a Pac-12 champion winner. He was athletics run. My dad played basketball at Townsend State. Okay. So on the boys' side, athletics run through it. We all went Division I, played sports. My mom's is more on the smart side, master's degree. My sister has the same thing, master's degree. So as far as the girls, it wasn't really athletics for us. But growing up, I ran track, played football mainly.
Okay.
Basketball a little bit, but I kind of veered off from that. Ran track my first 2 years of high school. I was fastest freshman in the nation my freshman year of high school. Since my sophomore year, 4th place in states my sophomore year. So really I had a 2-way go for sports, track or football. I could have went in for track, but track wasn't in my heart.
I was about to say, what was it about football that
this track
pulled you over?
Just running around by yourself. It wasn't really for me, man. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a joy for me to run track. It wasn't a joy. The joy came meet day, but this practice was just too much for me in track. So I just veered off from track and I just locked in football. But I was a late bloomer though. I think offers till like December, late November of my senior year. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking about track, but I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna lock in football my senior year. I locked in, had a tremendous year my senior year. Thanks to my coaches, 10 picks, 13 touchdowns, and then just blew it from there.
Yeah. I want to ask you about that. But the track, did you keep running track through 12th grade, or did you just kind of stop after that?
11th year, I was going to run it, and then COVID. Okay. And then senior year, I kind of had a little banged up, so I didn't want to get banged up, so I didn't run track. Okay.
Yeah, you're our first guest that actually was still in high school in COVID, so I forget about that.
COVID, yeah.
That sort of, that impact, that it's not the way to. It's not ideal for ending your high school career outside. Yeah,
I didn't go to school. High school ended for me my junior year of spring because COVID hit. I was online after that. It's online school. Mm-hmm. It was for a year and a half, so COVID kind of messed me up.
Yeah, well, and so you just felt like your heart was more on the football field. I imagine a lot of that is, the one thing, if you ask anybody, whatever level they played on, whether their career ended in high school, in my case, it ended with a undefeated season, Liberty Bowl win, and all that at Tulane. And my last memory was us hanging out in the lobby of the Peabody Hotel for New Year's Eve because we had played New Year's Day, But it's or guys that played forever in the NFL. Tom Brady keeps coming back, but you can't replace that that feeling that comes from being with 90 guys or whatever that are going through that same thing that you're going through.
Definitely 100%. Yeah, just like the way I felt play football I didn't feel it with track that much, so I knew in my heart I was going with football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you even watching golf, like it's an individual sport, right? And all these guys are off in there, so. But the only time they're really happy, it seems like, is when they're on Ryder Cup, when it's actually a team thing. It's just. It's kind of like a 1+1 = 3 situation with team sports versus individual. It's like you can have all the individual honors in the world, but give most people a choice: win the state championship in track or win in football. You're going to choose to win it with the guys.
Yeah, the guys, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Even if there's less individual glory in that situation, and so it's just a cool. I think it speaks to us as humans and how we tick. At the end of the day, we're social creatures. So all right, so we're going to tell your dad that you said mom's a lot smarter. Is he going to like that, or
I think he knows that.
He'd concede that ground.
Yeah, he can see that.
Okay, and then so Jane, I think I heard Jane also say he's the one child of all the siblings that actually combined the two.
Yeah. So that, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
No. My brother Braxton, he's pretty smart too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Bryce, we're probably not as smart as Braxton, but. Yeah, me and Bryce are probably the bottom two, tied, and then Braxton and Marissa's like.
She's at another level.
Yeah, out of the roof, yeah.
Yeah, well, Jadon, you're throwing me off so much because I had teammates from Florida. Okay. I had a lot of teammates from Florida, and not a single one of them were nearly as humble as you are. I just thought it was something with it.
I mean, I'm a little cocky.
Okay.
Field. Yeah, I'm very. If you ask my teammates, I'm pretty cocky.
Yeah, this is just your show. Yeah. your show demeanor. I got it.
No.
Okay. Yeah. No, whether it was Alfonso or we had a guy. Actually, you know what? There was one that was really on the humble side. He was a Jacksonville guy, Kendall Francis, who probably should hook you up with Kendall. Kendall is a news producer with WDSU here in the city, but he runs a foundation, Bless 26 Foundation. He's helping out a bunch of kids, but he's a Jacksonville guy. Okay. And he was from Bowles School. Oh, yeah, no Bowles, yeah. He actually went to Bowles with Chipper Jones. Okay. But he was the starting quarterback on a state championship team. He ended up playing running back for us, some cornerback. Mm-hmm. But good dude. And if you ever get a little homesick, we at least got a guy from Jacksonville around to take care of you here. Yeah. All right, so you come to you talked about your late offers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you never can 100% trust it, but I think I saw in like 247 you were a Howard commit for a while.
Yeah, correct. I was correct.
Yeah, and then it just looks like the offers started flooding in. Tulane came, Memphis, Maryland.
Yeah. Flooding in. Yeah, UAB, FAU. Got a lot in the 3-week span. I got a lot of offers.
Yeah, and that was on the heels of 10 interception season.
Yeah, 10. Yes, sir. Yeah, 10.
And then you said the 3 touchdowns. Those were those. You were a special team kick punt return, or was it all?
I had 13. I had 8 receiving.
Oh, that's right. You played both ways.
Yeah, both ways. Yeah, 3 pick sixes and 2 returns.
Yeah, so pretty good year.
Oh yeah, pretty good year. Yeah. Pretty good year. All around kind of year.
It's funny. It's a life I was alive in. You're just casual right here. I had 13 touchdowns, doing all this stuff. I'm like, I still remember a play in high school where I was playing defensive line and I batted a ball up and I almost picked it off. Now there's no way I was gonna actually return it for 80 yards, but in my dreams, I'm like. This is how bad it is. I dream that I actually picked the ball off after batting it, and then I lateral it to somebody else to actually score the touchdown. Because I can't even dream about actually scoring a touchdown.
It's fun. Like scoring is very fun. Scoring is very fun.
Yeah, particularly when you have positions that are not intended to score, right? So when you score in a defensive touchdown, you score in a return. Yeah. I mean, the returns are intended, but they don't happen very often.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I mean, receivers.
Yeah, I mean, if the route's good, you get pretty excited for the receiver. With a plain route, then it's fine. High school, I got some taunt flags for some of my catches I got for touchdowns.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely, my best one is probably the pick sixes are probably the best ones. Mm-hmm. Most exciting I do get is from the pick sixes. I would say so.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to institute a program at FTW. We're gonna have to start giving out. I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to have some sort of promotion for pick sixes at Tulane. Yeah. Guys that get pick sixes, we're going to blow it up. We're going to promote the broadcast through that somehow. I don't know.
Good plan. I think last year we had just one. I think so. Mm-hmm. I think I would have had one Houston game, but I dropped that interception.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was a rough one, man. That was rough.
You could have run in backwards.
Yeah, that was a rough one. Yeah.
You jumped around perfectly and just boom. Oh man, I know that one. It's like, wait a minute, I thought I read this kid was a receiver in high school. What happened?
Yeah, that haunted me for a little minute. Yeah, that was a bad one.
Yeah, you fulfilled the stereotype of the reason you played defensive back.
No hands, yeah.
All right, so growing up in that family, and then I guess Easter time, are you going to be able to get spring game? So you're not going to be able to get back.
I'll be back, yeah.
Yeah, you went back. Did you get to go back for spring break?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I want to go back. Okay. Yeah, it was nice to see family, friends. Just back to the city environment. Mm-hmm. Nothing fun. Go back to Jacksonville.
What did mom and dad? Is there a special meal, something that they prepare for you when you come back home?
No, but my dad does like to cook though. Cooks lamb. Cooks like a lot of stuff. My dad's a cook, filet mignon. But no, not really meals. Like I get home and he'll get lazy, he'll be like, just make your own food.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he'll cook sometimes for me, maybe on Sundays he'll cook for us on Sundays, no matter what on Sundays. Nice little family meal. But I come home and he gets a little lazy when I get home.
Yeah, I get it. Well, it's also that Sunday meal has a distinct feature to it, right? Like in whatever tradition you're in, if you're Italian, it's going to be some kind of spaghetti or whatever. In my case, it was always some sort of smothered meat and rice. Okay. And rice and gravy type of thing, okay, right? Yeah. Was there something like a traditional go-to for your family Sunday deals?
My mom's side was chicken and dumplings.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when I was with my grandma or my mom on their side. But my dad, it was something new every week, maybe every week, something new.
I'm one of the Henry. I'm more like that. Right? I'm always wanting to grill a different type of meat or smoke something or whatever. Like I mix it up. My wife, if you left the world up to her, everybody would be on. There would be a schedule. Like it would be like Mondays are this, Tuesdays are this. I'm not that way, but all right, so I asked food because food's always important to me on this show. As you can see, I'm not a small fella, but so was it the food that drew you to New Orleans? What was it that made you choose Tulane over those other schools?
Definitely one the location. I don't want to come from, because Jacksonville's a big city, nice big city, there's stuff to do. I don't want to go nowhere where there's nothing to do, nothing around. Mm-hmm. The other schools don't really have that to it, and also the location and what to do. Like New Orleans is like a tourist city, there's a lot to do here, which that drew my eye. And next was the coaches, Coach Hampton, Coach JJ, Coach Fritz. Those definitely they got the most love for me, and they were calling me every day. I was on the phone for hours with them, talking to them. I felt like they're showing the love to me the most as well. Also school is important too. School is number one. Sure. Also, school is number one too. And this with the other schools, they didn't compete with Tulane. Yeah, and I'm not really close to what I was like, because the degree here is very helpful for a job. Because like football may not work. You never know what can happen. So just getting the degree is the most important part from college, I would say. So it's free education. And you talked about the coaches on the phones for hours. It's like kind of that's a kind of a backdoor way of letting you know that you really are important. Yeah, because if they're calling you, like, that's what coaches call me for like 5-10 minutes to say how you doing. It was, they obviously they liked me, they offered me, but it wasn't what. Coach did call me for like an hour.
But you know what he's not doing when he's talking to you for an hour is calling somebody else.
Yeah. I don't think he called both the guys for an hour though.
No, he was all in for you. I mean, he's giving that much of his precious recruiting time.
Yeah, if he was doing an hour daily talking to me, man, I know they definitely want me here. Then he's not just lying to my face. Because obviously. College is business, it's business everywhere you go. NFL, college, high school, Obviously, they're trying to get the best guys here, and it's a business because obviously their job's on the line. So I knew he wasn't giving me no lies, nothing fake. It was all genuine and the truth. Yeah. So, it was definitely a big factor when I came here.
Man, I think maybe we got to have a special coaching show and have JJ on and say, "Hey, JJ, how you doing?" Let him talk for an hour straight.
He can do it.
As a special character to be able to talk that much, man.
Yeah, he can do it, man. He can talk for an hour. He has a mouthpiece on. He can talk.
He can talk, man. Yeah, I've seen him around and basketball games and stuff like that. He's definitely
funny
a
guy. Yeah, definitely great guy, funny guy.
Mm-hmm. All right, so. I tried to get you into the food, but we didn't quite get there. New Orleans food. What's our favorite so far? What have you tried? What are you looking forward to trying?
Florida obviously good seafood. I mean, I feel like it's neck and neck with us because I live on the coast, so I'm getting fresh seafood as well. Right. Mm-hmm. Crawfish isn't as big as crawfish isn't that big in Florida, So coming here having crawfish like multiple times in a month, definitely nice to have crawfish. I like crawfish a lot. Obviously, the shrimp is amazing here too, as well as Florida. But honestly, to me, it's neck and neck. Florida and New Orleans, because it's both locally fresh seafood. But if I was upstate somewhere in New York, something like that, it'd be pretty bad. Or middle of nowhere, Kansas, something like that, it'd be pretty bad. The food here is definitely nice. What are they called? The little powdered donuts.
Beignets.
Those are amazing. Yeah, those are good. And Bourbon Street has a lot of nice places to eat. I went. The oysters are good there too.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
The oysters, hot sauce oysters, those are good oysters too. Because it's hard to find some good oysters. Yeah. Some spots have them they're washed, they're not fresh, they're old.
Yeah. Now I guess oysters is the climate right on Jacksonville Atlantic Sea, is there? I mean, I know all about the oysters in the Gulf, but are there oysters there?
Yeah, oysters there. Yeah, oysters.
Makes sense. I mean, salt water and about the
there.
similar climate, right? Yeah. All right. Well, so Bradley, you heard it. You've had one who said that he doesn't really like crawfish. Now we got one that says that crawfish lover. Bradley's we're gonna put one together. We're gonna do a crawfish boil for the FTW guys, and we're gonna have y'all over, and Bradley's gonna cook them. Okay. And we'll see how much crawfish y'all could eat.
Probably a lot.
Yeah,
a lot. Yeah, crawfish doesn't fill you up.
Yeah. It's one of these things.
Say that, it's like 3 pounds they eat.
Yeah, I know. Like the real professionals, the real, that's good. Even I don't do 50. I get tired of peeling them at that point.
It's a lot of hands and stuff. Yeah,
it's a commitment to get that far. It's one of these things though. Like my mom and dad used to, when we would have the offensive linemen, they'd go over. I grew up 45 miles west of here, and so like once a year, we'd pack up all the offensive linemen. We'd go over to my parents' house. We let Dennis O'Sullivan, my defensive line roommate, tag along too, but he was a special case. He was an old lineman by nature, just he would happen to play defense line. He played NFL a little bit. Okay. But he was a knucklehead like us. And, they would, basically jambalaya, they would always make jambalaya and white beans. And like jambalaya, like, you counted by the number of people you could serve. It's kind of like a formula. Like if you got 10 pounds of rice, you got, 5 pounds of sausage, 5 pounds of pork, whatever it is. Like that's supposed to feed, I don't know what it is, 50 people or something.
A lot, yeah.
They would just make enough of 50 to feed like the 18 guys that came over. And there were very few leftovers. And then, because of all the bean consumption, you probably didn't want to be in those cars we're all packed in on the way home. And of course, my mom would have to outdo herself with like the dessert side of things. It was just a mess. So we'll try to give y'all a little taste of that through Bradley, but it won't quite beat the home cooking I brought to the teammates. It'll come close.
Okay.
I'll crush it.
He feels up to the challenge. So
high hopes.
Yeah. So I guess one thing I meant to cover with you earlier and we didn't quite get to, but I'll ask you now, like mentality wise to play cornerback. I mean, there's this concept. My son's a baseball player, and you fail a lot in baseball, right? You get out a lot. It's just the nature of the game, and this concept of playing poorly well. I don't know if you ever heard it in those terms, but it's like basically like, okay, you sucked this play, or something went against you this play, even if it's not your fault. Mm-hmm. It's sort of that what it takes to get back on the horse for the next play and perform at a high level, and not let something that happened in the past affect you in the present.
So basically, like my mentality as cornerback is like the cornerback. Like one bad play means you have a bad game. It's like you let a touchdown, like a fly route touchdown. Like people think you have a bad game when it's really just one bad play. It happens. But my mentality was say like a guy caught a ball on me. I'd be like, man, like 5 seconds I'll be mad about it, and just next play is locked in. Next play, obviously like I'll try to. I mean, for me like. I get better as the game goes along. First quarter, obviously a little shaky. Second quarter, I'm getting there. But by halftime, I'm locked in. I feel like great, because I can I've felt him out. I know what he likes to do. So it's really a chess game, to be honest. It's really a chess game, Mm-hmm. But my mentality is always just just don't let him catch the ball. The ball's in the air is for me. Like my mentality is I'm trying to be the best on the field. Mm-hmm. I mean that's what everyone goes should be the best on the field. But just very fast, short memory. That's all.
Yeah, short in other words, you give up a 20-yard game, whatever, first down. Next play, you still in your mind, I'm still the best on the field.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, because I mean, like in my opinion, it's lucky. It's probably a push off, something like that. Yeah, something happened to where that happened to me. No, but I don't think Gilbert shit was just slant routes. I haven't been scored on before. I'm looking to keep that title for.
Still haven't been scored on?
Haven't been scored on. Not even in high school.
Okay.
So
we'll keep that running.
Keep that running. We'll keep that running. Keep that running this year. But just short memory.
Yeah, you're a hard person to ask about playing poorly, well or in any other way. You don't play poorly very often, but yeah, it's something. It's like you see it so often in team sports, and it's kind of like if you look at it as a microcosm of where we are, going 2-10 last year. I know when you were recruited, you saw a program on an uptick.
Yeah,
You didn't expect to go 2-10.
No, I didn't. Yeah, whatsoever.
But I mean, there's absolutely nothing we can do about that now, except we take the lessons from it.
It's in the past. It's in the past. Move forward. Just move forward. That's all.
Yeah, short-term memory on that front as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we mentioned the locker room. We talked about it right quick, but obviously our goal this year is a championship. That's the goal every year is championship. But this year I don't see us going nowhere near that. 2-10.
Yeah,
nowhere close to that this year.
Yeah,
nowhere at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at it last year, like, okay, the big boys on the block, Cincinnati, we played them hard. We played them tough. Kai was the starting quarterback that game, and it was a game into the fourth quarter. He like tears a tendon or something in his hand, can't even throw the ball, and we're still.
He couldn't throw the ball. It's like pointer finger looked like it was like four fingers attached to his pointer finger. It was bad.
Yeah, at quarterback, right?
Yeah, we had no other quarterback besides him, literally. So playing that game with no quarterback, defense, that game held up pretty strong.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then Houston, I guess Houston was really good last year. But I mean, you look. I guess what I'm getting at is that you look at League Central Florida, we could have beaten them. A bunch of games we could have had, should have had, whatever.
100%.
And so there's no reason why next year fix a few things. Everybody got a year big strong. We could return a ton of talent.
Yeah. Whole defense came back besides Jeffrey Johnson.
Yeah.
Also, we have the guys who were hurt last year.
JoJo was out. Yeah, but Hatcher's back.
Yeah, Hatcher's back. Devin Deal back. Some guys coming in the offense, I think, will do pretty good. Recruits we signed.
How's Ashad been?
Ashad's been nice too.
Not a guy you want to have to tackle.
He runs very hard. If Tajay gets healthy, also YG number 5.
Yeah.
No one saw him before Oklahoma game, but.
Oh, well, he flashed early in the year, and then he got re-hurt.
Actually, no, he was hurt the OU game.
Was he?
Yeah, he was knee problems OU game. But before he got hurt, like we were doing fall camp, I mean, he's the best thing I ever saw on the field. Yeah. He was insane, man. Just running back, receiver, like.
Well, he had that one-handed catch on a wheel against Oklahoma.
Yeah, his knee was like messed up bad the OU game. Yeah, he was hurt that game. Like people know he was hurt that game too, but he was the best thing I saw on the field before fall camp.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was.
Well, I mean, because look at it, man. You got Ashad and there's a bunch of articles being written by him coming in, but then obviously Tajay went for 250 against Memphis.
Yeah,
he looks prime for a huge year. Cam scored a billion touchdowns in his career already. Big physical back, and and then nobody even talking about YG yet. You're saying, until that injury, he was the best looking guy out there.
It wasn't even. He was a weapon, man. A weapon.
Yeah, so it's sort of like an embarrassment and it enriches in a lot of respects in the skill, 10 deep receiver, all this. I mean, so you look across the ball, you see the dudes there necessary to compete.
Yeah, I mean, also the running back room is pretty deep too. I mean, running back, we have like 5. Cam Curl, Iverson Celestine, he's been playing pretty good in spring. Urshad Clayton, Tajay, YG. So there's 5 guys in there who can be start anywhere really. I mean, they all could be a starter for us.
Yeah.
So definitely be some competition everyone on the field this year. Like fall camp's gonna be very exciting for us because this competition is gonna be very elite this fall.
And you got some new guys coming in too. But I guess Patrick Jenkins has shown up. How's he been?
Ooh.
Beast?
Yeah, he's a beast. He's force.
Yeah, that's awesome because when you lose Jeffrey, you needed a little injection there.
Yeah, Pat, Eric Hicks he's improved very well. Donis has improved a little. Mm-hmm. So the guy definitely came up to the plate. So obviously losing a guy like him is pretty like detrimental to us. But Patrick Jenkins, he filled the spot right up. Yeah, he filled we lost. I think so.
Yeah.
We lost, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then obviously the two. I mean, I love Nick and Dorian, and I mean Dorian's going to be our earlier type of draft pick, and Nick's the sort of heart and soul of the whole deal in the middle.
Yeah,
look at it. And y'all, we talked about some of the depth on the back end. So I mean, look, all the pieces sort of there. You know how to kick field goals? That might be a little bit of work in progress,
Work in progress, We got Kriston. I think we're signing someone too coming in.
Okay. Now is he a Florida guy?
He's from Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're signing a kicker. I'm not too sure yet.
Yeah.
And linebacker, Jesus Machado.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's improved a lot.
Yeah.
There's a whole new player coming in spring. Yeah, he's up there with Nick Dorian this year. Yeah, he's been balling. Corey Platt Jr. He's improved. And Mendel Eugene. So linebackers are definitely the whole team just improved this year. Step up, a huge step up from last year. Last year we called a lot. If you watch the film, we called the right plays. Just misalignments or missed gaps. I mean, if you miss the gaps, it's huge, football.
Sure.
Yeah, you miss a gap or like you miss a call, miss alignment. It's also huge. You have 10 guys doing something right. You have one guy wrong. It's gonna be a touchdown. You never know. It'll be a touchdown. That was the biggest thing last year. Was just misalignments, misalignments, missed gaps. That's really what it was last year.
Yeah, and we're gonna miss all that this year. Like all that's in the past now, right?
Yeah, this year what we're doing this year, 100%.
All looking forward. So cool. Well, look, we're gonna look forward to it. Gonna try out, come check out some of the spring game, and then hopefully see a bunch of people. There's a Tulane Letterman event for all you Lettermen who might be watching Friday night. Come meet some of the guys and come see the coaches and staff. I think that's going to do it for us here, Jadon. Thank you for your time, man.
Thanks for having me on the show. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you coming on, and we look forward to watching you play, watching you follow guys all over the field and terrorizing them.
Yeah, I like them.
Next year.
100%. Yes.
All right.
100%.
Can't wait to see it, man. Thank you to our hosts once again, Rue Fitness and Stack Coaching, and thank you to all of you for supporting the show. See y'all next time.
Next time.